think a lot of artists are talking about this election because we know just how critical this particular election is, because I think we're at a crisis point with democracy, and it's always been the job of artists to get the word out. We've seen some incredible voices of artists here this afternoon who happen to be in town for the East Coast Music Awards, but we're all really concerned about the future of this country.
Because I'm in Charlottetown for the ECMAs. I think democracy is really important. I'm really excited that we're having an election. I want people to vote. I really want people to vote, and I want something to change this time.
This land is my land, from Bonta Vista to Vancouver Island. And if you're voting, then you'll be knowing this land will be changed for you and me.
Democracy is culture, and culture is democracy. Artists have always been on the front lines of speaking truth. Our job is to push the boundaries, ask the uncomfortable questions, take the consequences. And we're living in a culture right now, a political culture that wants to stifle the democratic voice of the people. I don't see anything that the Conservative government in particular are doing to really build a future, whether it's in education, environment, democracy. I mean, these guys are all about right-wing ideology, shutting down democratic voices, pushing in a right-wing agenda that really siphons money out of all sectors, particularly the middle class, to the richest people in the country. And who's going to buy their shit, Yeah.
And no one has to be registered to be here. Everyone's invited. And the other thing we wanted to say too is that, really there's a high voter turnout in PEI. There's always been. It's got the highest voter turnout of any province in Canada. Big round of applause for PEI.
Or if you care about education, if you're a student at university or college, if you care about tuition rates, you need to get engaged with your government. If you care about education, you should volunteer and help with student sports, youth sports, getting them engaged in extracurricular education. So if government sees citizens active and engaged, then they can also support your causes. And they can engage in causes that you're passionate about as well, but you have to be engaged and be there to support those causes first. So if you want an engaged government that cares about what you care about, you need to get engaged as well. Government reflects you.
We should do it. I would also say to encourage other people to vote, because the people who vote, they've always been voting. What we need to do is get the 40% of Canadians that didn't vote last time, of eligible voters that didn't vote. So we need the people who are going to vote anyway to bring along their pals, to bring along their coworkers, their kids, whoever was kind of sitting on the fence about it, or who isn't going to bother. We need people to get those people to bother.
Admittedly, I vote more on heart than logic. More on guts than facts. I vote for compassion now and compassion after that. I vote for people, not corporations. I'd rather pay taxes now than have more slashes later. I would prefer it if the rich subsidized a bit the poor. No one needs millions of dollars, but everybody needs a roof, good food, a solid door. I'm not a political analyst, an expert on this. I was not ever even a poli-sci student. But as far as I can see it, the Conservatives in most ways are not being very conservative. I believe in truth and I don't believe in them. And I want old Canada back. I want progressive, green, liberal Canada that honors peace and arts and living standards more than war and fighter jets and looking like America. It's simple, but it's not easy. It starts with an X in a box. X marks the spot. Remember your rights. Do your job. Remember, we can fight for what we want, we can ask for, we can hire who we want. We could change our country, make it loving again and strong. Go on, it's easy as ABC. Take your friend, take your enemy, and have fun at the polls. Exercise your rights, join a nationwide, and go vote. Thanks for organizing this. This is really important. Remember to bring someone along with you to the polls. Have a voting party. Thanks.
Kenya Davis. So she says she's not a political analyst, but that was a pretty good analysis if you ask me.
I had actually wanted to write a poem about the election and voting and to encourage people to vote. So this was just like, oh great, well I need to write this poem anyway. I'm going to write it in time for this rally, and I've been here this weekend playing a lot of shows. So I just got up one morning and before the music started and wrote that little poem.
Why are the values that made us admired throughout the world disappearing so rapidly from today's Canada? We must right this wrong. We must restore democracy, folks. And I know I asked you more than 4 questions, so it's a good thing you're not the Prime Minister. It wouldn't be allowed.
We have to talk until people get really bored with us, if necessary. I remember when, kid of the 60s, and I belonged to a community called Canada. And that community is not just eroding, it is under siege. And I'm counting on you all to bring it back together. And the way that we do that is we let no one off the hook. We talk to them. We talk to them until they talk back, until they tell us what their values are and whether they're going to vote and how they intend to vote and why, and make them think about that, because we have all been too busy working for the good life and ignoring our quality of life and our community. And that, my friends, must change. So talk. Talk to your mom and dad, talk to your kids, talk to your cousin, talk to your neighbor that you haven't talked to for 5 years because you're having a dispute over who picks the apples. Forget it. Talk to them. Talk to your counselors, talk to your politicians, talk to people in the street who you've never met before. We need to rebuild community on this island, on this nation, on this planet. Thank you.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out.